In the darkest of nights, in the coldest of days, it's our comfort. In the dark of night, the winds of change our night. Our freedom is a national trust. We fight for freedom and justice.
Rise, Queendom of Nyx. We rise, we march, we fight, we live.
In the dark of night, our freedom is a national trust. We fight for freedom and justice.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Prime Minister Austin Nelson of the Queendom of Nyx. Today we're gonna do a reaction. Yes, the second episode has begun where the Queendom of Nyx, at least the Prime Minister, me, is going to react and do a commentary on how fake, simulated, hobbyist, or realistic a nation is. And the nation we're gonna do, I think we might actually do multiple nations because the nation that we're gonna look at doesn't seem to have a lot of information. So basically what I'm going to do is read to actually show you guys now, because I figured it out now. I can show you guys now how to, or what to read on there or whatever, and I'll try to go slow for y'all, and I'll still read like the brief stuff, and you know, y'all can like slow down the video and read it for yourself, or go in the link in the description below to read it for yourself. So without further ado, let's begin the Free Borough of Landroost. Yes, I know how to pronounce it now. Excuse me. Of Landroost. So, let's begin. Alright, let's see here. I'm going to go here. Okay, we are at the Wikipedia, because as far as I'm aware, don't worry, it's going to show. Because as far as I'm aware, it does not have its own website. So, here we go. I'm going to do the Mr. Magic trick. So, I'm going to do this, that, and this. There we go. Okay. Free Borough of Landroost. Alright, here we go. Basically, the Free Borough of Landroost was a special privilege granted to the Welsh town of Landroost by the Prince of Wales. Landroost is now a small town and community on the River Conwy in Conwy County Borough, Wales. It takes its name from the 5th to 6th century Saint Grust. I would assume the W is similar to U, so that's how I'm going to pronounce it. If I pronounce it wrong, I apologize to all my Welsh audience. Landroost developed around the wool trade, partly because of an edict prohibiting any Welshmen from trading within 10 miles, or 16 kilometers, of Conwy, as Landroost was 13 miles, 21 kilometers away, and well placed to benefit. Alright, here's the origin. This is what piqued my interest. In 1276, that's a very old. Llewellyn ap Gruffudd, Prince of Wales, also known as Llewellyn the Last, seized the town, declaring it a free borough, independent from the Diocese of Llanway. Although the bishop went as far as to seek help to the Pope to overturn this, his attempts failed. Llewellyn pleading a close family tie to place as a reason for safeguarding it. Huh. Okay. That's interesting. Llewellyn ap Gruffudd, Prince of Wales. And then the town of Landroost and County. Let's say hi to those real quick. Here. Okay. And no, I did not read this beforehand. I was just getting it already. Okay, so Landroost, which is Welsh for church or parish of St. Grist, is a market town and community in Conwy County Borough, Wales. It is one of the east bank on the River Conwy in A470 Road and lies within the historic county boundaries of Denbighshire. It developed around the wool trade and became known also for the making for harps and clocks. I like clocks. Clocks are my thing. I like clocks. Today, less than 1 mile, 2 kilometers, from the edge of Snowdonia. Snowdonia? What is that? Oh, it's a mountainous region. Okay. Its main industry of tourism, notable building including almshouses, 2 17th century chapels, and the parish church of St. Grist. Ooh, that's a pretty church. I like it. Which holds the stone coffin of Llewellyn the Great. Pretty. And at the 2021 census, the community had a population of 3,000. Tiny place. They take the name from Syncrist. So, okay, now you guys know what the town is. Here's the map, Wikipedia map of where it is in the county. Is it a county or borough? County. Okay, county borough. The county borough of Conway is what that yellow highlight is, and the little dot is the community. So there you go. There's that. Now, what's the Prince of Wales? For audience that don't know who the Prince of Wales are, here it is. It is a title traditionally given to the male heir, apparent to the English and later the British throne. The title originated with the Welsh rulers of Gwynedd, who, from the late 12th century, used it, albeit inconsistently, to assert their supremacy over other Welsh rulers. However, to mark the finalization of his conquest of Wales in 1301, Edward I of England invested his son Edward of Carnarvon with the title, thereby beginning the tradition of giving the title to the heir apparent when he was the monarch's son or grandson. The title was later claimed by the leader of Welsh rebellion, Owain Glyndwr, from 1400 until 1415. And then King Charles III created his son, William, Prince of Wales, on September 9, 2022. Oh, okay. The day after his accession to the throne, with formal letters patent issued on February 13, 2032, the title has become a point of controversy in Wales. Ooh, controversy. Oh, it's that guy. So he's currently the Prince of Wales. Oh, okay. And here you go. Here's some 1200s history. That'll give y'all. I'm not gonna read the whole thing, but a little bit of gist on the 1200s of what's been going on around the one guy's time. What's his name again? Here it is. Llewellyn ep Gruffudd, also known as Llewellyn the Last, was the Prince of Gwynedd from 1255 to 1282. So there you go. There's your timestamps. After successful campaigns across Wales in 1257, Llewellyn proclaimed himself Prince of Wales in 1258, and was recognized by such Henry III of England in 1266 as part of the Treaty of Montgomery. He remained in his position even after his humbling by Edward I of England in the 1277 Treaty of Aberconwy, remaining Prince of Wales in name until his killing at Kilmary in 1282, one of the final events in Edward's conquest of Wales. Wow. Of course he would get killed off. That's a shame. Yep, his reign was... Let's see, if that was in 85, that would be 30 years. So minus... What, 3 years? So minus 3 years? No. My math is off, I'm sorry. 27. So 27 years, okay. So he reigned for 27 years. It's not a bad time. Okay, now you guys know what that is. Here's the Conway County Borough. So y'all can understand what that is. They got their little coat of arms. That's what that big land is. Let's see. Any significance? I mean, I'm sure there is significance, but, you know, we're looking at the Micronation, not all of Wales, so. All right. Yep, we got the prince, so now we know who was involved in the nation. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Here it is. Here it is. And the independent from the Diocese of Lanway, and that's over here, which belongs to the Diocese of St. Asaph, named after Saint Asaph, the first bishop of St. Asaph, i.e. bishop of the Diocese of St. Asaph. Yep. Yep. Good old Vatican stuff. Let's see. Although the bishop went as far as to seek help from the Pope to overturn this, his attempts failed. Llewellyn pleading a close family tie to the place's reason for safeguarding it. After the death of Llewellyn in 1282, each further new attempt by the Bishop of Llanelwele, oh my god, I cannot pronounce it, failed. The Cistercian monks, well, I know what a monk is, but what is that? Order of Cistercians are Catholic religious monks and nuns that branched off from the Benedictines and followed the rules of St. Benedict. Oh, I think I've heard of them. Yeah, I've heard of them before. Oops. I've heard of them before. Okay. Ooh, that's a pretty abbey. Oh, it's where Llewellyn the Great's grandfather died. Okay, 1240. Written down. Any banners related to the bishopric or to the Edward I. A century later, the monastery was moved 8 miles, 30 kilometers upriver. Their landless town constantly have coat of arms, flag, all that good stuff. All they even went as far as Wales, England, and Landwurst. Well, yeah, sure. If the United Kingdom were to be founded at this nation were to be founded at the same time, then yeah. No, it would have been part of the United Kingdom. Then the United Kingdom would be what is it? Well, it would still be Great Britain and North and Ireland, right? It will still be Great Britain and Ireland, but uh, but in the if you were to go to a fuller title, it'd be the United Kingdom of England, Scotland, Wales, then Landwurst, then Ireland. And apparently there has been a recent-ish attempt somewhere. It says in 1947, Landwurst Town Council allegedly made an unsuccessful submission to the United Nations for a seat on the Security Council. That's a big step. Stating that Landwurst was an independent state within Wales. The chairman and secretary of the Landwurst Historical Society have obtained proof of this from the United Nations in New York. This is not confirmed in the United Nations Security Council minutes available online. I don't know. Hold on. United Nations minutes available online. How this is worded might be my autism, but how that's worded is throwing me off. The Landwurst Almshouse and Museum Trust. I'm assuming that's the Historical Society, probably. Oops. Keep clicking that right click. Recently returned to above mentioned Landwurst flag to the community, dating from the 12th century. This emblem will be circumstantial to the legend that it once claimed independence of the United Kingdom. And that's it. That's about it. So we all know what the Prince of Wales is. Daisy is St. Asaph. And, yeah. So, yep, that is all a free borough of Landwurst. Alright, so that's about it. So, now what? Let's see. Turn that off. Oops. Back to me. Hi. Okay. Alright, here's my official conclusion on that. So, obviously, it was a failed attempt to make a state. It even failed in the 1200s, unfortunately. It sounded like it could be a very good state, in all honesty. And honestly, the island of Great Britain probably needs more countries on it, right? I know one in particular. So, yeah, no, I think, you know, self-determination, all that good stuff, and they obviously have a reason for it, right? To declare independence from the Archdiocese, because if you think about it, the Vatican had a lot more power back then, especially in the 1200s. Especially in the 1200s, which I think is the same time as the 100 Years' War. Or was that later? Could be wrong. Well, no, there was Edward I, or Edward III, whatever Edward was there. One of the Edwards is the Black Prince. That I do know for a fact. So, if it was the Black Prince, then yes, that was during the 100 Years' War. So, yeah, no. I think this was a legitimate movement to try to build a nation. So I would say this was, not is, was a nation building project. But it ultimately failed many times. It failed in the 1200s, and it had a good backing in 1947, which was a while ahead, right? No, I mean, no, I would see it as a real nation. Yeah, I would see. I mean, obviously not right now, right? But if it were to be alive today, I mean, obviously the town is, and the county it's in is obviously right, but they're under the jurisdiction of the Kingdom of Wales and the United Kingdom of Great Britain. So, with that said, because they did not declare independence, nor I mean, the town council didn't get involved, but as far as I'm aware, the town council has, as in modern times right now, has not been making any moves of such claims yet, of, you know, more independence and such. Obviously, in the United Kingdom, there are other nations that are declaring independence, and I'm not just talking about Samaria, actually. I am actually talking about Cornwall. Yes, Cornwall is trying to at least become an extra kingdom in the United Kingdom, right? Which will make them be independent. They'll be a constituent country, but nevertheless, they want to be their own nation. So I hope Cornwall gets there. Yay! So, and I do have Cornish ancestors, turns out. So that's why I'm a little happy about that. Okay, so that was the free borough of Lanrust. And it's only been 16 minutes. So I'm gonna go to the next nation. Yep, we're going head on to another nation. Because I told you this was gonna be a short one. So because I was just skimming through it. You know, when I looked it up, I was just skimming through it to see how long it would take, right? For like video purposes, whatever. And I figured it was gonna be short, so I figured by making it somewhat longer, I would give you details on who was involved and all that stuff. So hopefully that was educational. Let's see here. Alright, we're done with that nation. Okay. It's funny too, because this isn't the same island, but the Queen of Nyx didn't get involved with a Caribbean island at one point. Not in the reason you think. We actually did it where we told the Micronational community to basically shut up about it. This is who claims it, and this is who we deem who claims it. And we're sticking to it, and you should stick to it too. But of course, they don't care. So yeah. So ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna go do the Kingdom of Redonda. Alright, the Kingdom of Redonda is a micronation associated with the tiny, uninhabited Caribbean island of Redonda. Okay, I actually never looked this up. Let's see. Which is the dependency of St. John, Antigua, and Barbuda in the Leeward Islands, West Indies. Okay, that's what that is. It's just a big rock. Alright, the island lies between the islands of Nevis, which is St. Kitts and Nevis, guys, and Montserrat, which is a British overseas territory. Alright, and then within the inner arc of the Leeward Islands chain, which is a bunch of these guys. And then the West Indies, which is everybody. So, and then of course you got Antigua and Barbuda. The island is just over 1 mile long and 1/3 mile wide, rising to a 971-foot peak in September 2023. The Redonda Ecosystem Reserve was established, covering nearly 30,000 hectares, 74,000 acres. That's a lot of land. Of land and sea, making it the largest marine protected area in the region. The island teems with bird life, but is more or less uninhabitable by humans because there is no source of fresh water other than rain. Nothing wrong with that, just collect rainwater. I mean, if people happen to live there, of course. And most of the island is extremely steep and rocky, with only relatively small sloping plateau area of grassland at the summit. Landing on the island is a very challenging process, possibly only via the leeward coast on days when the seas are calm. Climbing to the top of the island is also very arduous. Despite these difficulties, from 1865 until 1912, Redonda was part of a lucrative trade in guano mining. Guano? Oh. To be frank, guys, I actually did not know that's what that was. Had no clue. Did not know that. And many thousands of tons of phosphates were shipped from Redonda to Britain. These ruins associated with the mine workers can still be seen on the island. Various parties claim Redonda as a micronation. An account told by the fantasy writer M.P. Shield, here's M.P. Shield, in 1929 claimed that Redonda was established by his father as an independent kingdom decades earlier in the 19th century, and that he became king in 1880. The title to the supposed kingdom is still contested to this day in a half-serious fashion. The kingdom is also often associated with a number of supposedly aristocratic members whose titles are awarded by whoever is currently the king. There are a number of individuals in different countries who claim to be the king of Redonda. Oh, Lord. I mean, look, Queendom of Nyx has titles. And I actually have my own personal family titles because, yes, I am going to go off by my actual ancestry. And yes, I don't care. I am a descendant of Charlemagne. And yes, I am one of those people that are going to take advantage on, yes, I have royal blood and noble blood and all that good stuff. And I'm going to bring back a dead coat of arms that no one is using anymore and make new ones because the current family that are still alive are still using the existing ones, so I'm going to make my own versions of those ones and yeah, and give it all to my family members who I deem would give, the noble titles, whatever. And these are just personal titles. But the Queen has approved me of giving away those titles to my own family members because I'd rather have a higher authority to give me that ability. So, without further ado, the early history of the Kingdom of Redonda is uncertain. There is no evidence, documentation, third-party verification of Shield's story. During Shield's lifetime, an author of works of adventure fantasy fiction was the first person to give account of Kingdom of Redonda in 1929 in a promotional pamphlet for reissue of his books. Sounds like a guy this sounds like a guy that wants to actually advertise to say, hey, I'm the King of Redonda, buy my books. That's what it sounds like right now. According to Shield's story, Shield's father, Matthew Daly Shield, who was a trader and Methodist lay preacher from the nearby island of Montserrat, claimed the island of Redonda when his son Matthew Phipps Shield was born. Supposedly, the father felt he could legitimately do this because it appeared to be the case that no country had officially claimed the islet as territory. I mean, what? You just happen to not see a flag on the islands like, wow, no one's claimed that, so I'll go claim it. Shield Sr. is also said to have requested the title of King Redonda from Queen Victoria. Hey, that's my favorite historical queen. Wonder why. And according to the legend, it was granted to him by the British Colonial Office rather than by Victoria herself. That's interesting. Provided there was no revolt against colonial power. Huh. Hold on. According to the legend, okay, I had to reread that. By the British Colonial Office rather than Victoria herself. No royal assent. Can't have that. And honestly, I am biased. I'm going to have to go on Queen Victoria's side on this one. I don't think Queen Victoria would let him, honestly. The son, originally named Matthew Shield, but later known as the writer M.P. Shield, claimed he was crowned on Redonda at the age of 15 in 1880. Okay, this ain't ancient Egypt, bud. By a bishop from Antigua. Okay. Okay. We're getting somewhere. However, as MP Shield's recounting of the story never saw print until 1929, it is possible that some, most, or all the story of his being Grand Redonda is pure invention. Yeah, I think the bishop from Antigua kinda talked the kid into it. Probably bribed him too, in a specific way. Hey, this is the 1800s. Anything can happen with a bishop in that time. So, that sounds like a sad story. Shield cites two different names from the bishop who performed the coronation. The Reverend Dr. Mitchison and the Reverend Hugh Semper. Okay, there are two men now. That's even worse. These men were both genuine clerics in the Caribbean during this period. Whether Shield had a faulty memory or couldn't keep his invented story consistent is unknown. Yeah, sounds like this could have been a trauma story. In About Myself, Shield writes that he intended to impose a tribute tax on the American guano miners, but the request was refused. There has been no independent evidence provided of any such demands. Several of Shield's works of fiction concern various aspects of monarchy. One of his detective heroes is called Cummings King Monk. In Shield's 1901 End of the World story, The Purple Cloud, the protagonist Adam Jeffson, the last man on Earth, established himself as a monarch of the devastated globe. While Shield's novel The Lord of the Sea, 1901, has Richard Hogarth, another overman figure, coming to dominate the world. In 1899, Shield wrote about visiting Redonda in his adventure novel Contraband of War. I know, this is supposed to be about the nation of Redonda, but I guess without this guy, we can't talk about Redonda much. Like, I'm already seeing problems. Like, so far, because now we're at the final paragraph of this particular part, and then it goes to his death. So, oh God, there's a list of kings. Just stop. Okay, well, first of all, I'm already, brain dead just for reading some of this, but legitimately, I think this was a kid that was most likely traumatized by bishops or a bishop and 2 reverends. Oh no, sorry, the reverends were the bishops. Okay, the 2 guys were bishops, but for some reason he could not figure out which bishop it was that coronated him. Yeah, see, that don't sound right, guys. That don't sound right. A bishop should not do that to a 15-year-old kid. Okay? That's no. Nah. There was some backdoor stuff going on. Okay, regardless of what you all think, and I know I'm going by today's standards, but just because of how we're seeing bishops and priests and all them doing stuff today, doesn't mean it didn't happen back then. So, in later life, Shield gave the title and the rights to his work to his chief admirer, London poet and editor John Galsworth. Also, I think that's his other name, Terence Ian Fighton Armstrong. That's one hell of a name. The biographer of Arthur Machen, who was the realm's Archduke. Hey, Gosworth, 1912 to 1970, seems to have passed on the title several times when the writer was low on funds. Oh. See, guys, it's funny. It goes from what I believe is a backdoor trauma and advertising for his book. That's what it sounds like, guys. That's what Redonda sounds like. Gosworth Realm has been oh my god, I cannot pronounce that word. It's not fictitiously, it's like facetiously turned Almadonda by the Sheelan scholar A. Reynolds Morse, 1914 to 2000. That's old. After the Alma pub in Westbourne Grove, Bayswater, London, where King Juan frequently held court in the 1960s. Huh. After Shield's death, Gosworth had also apparently promised to make Max Juan Tong Leggett, the first son of his friends Charles and Jean Leggett, his redundant heir if they gave the child, born in the late 1950s, his royal name of Juan. Some researchers accept that Gosworth bestowed the title on his friend, the publican Arthur John Roberts, in 1967 by irrevocable covenant. Prior to this late writer, Dominic Behan, 1928 to 89, also claimed that Gosworth transferred the title to him in 1960. It is also said that Gosworth handed on the throne to one Aleph Kamal, whose peers include the novelist Edna O'Brien. Self-appointed monarchs of Redonda included Michael Lawler in 2010. Oh, a recent one. Great. Marvin Kidman and William Scott Home. Scott's home claim to the title was, he says, based on ESP and reincarnation. Oh, God. Okay. So now there's mental health. I mean, don't get me wrong. I do believe in some way, shape, or form psychics do exist. And reincarnation is still questionable to this day. But what? Just no. Just because you have psychic powers does not mean you claim to be the king of Redonda. And if he was, you're not a king. Published author and environmentalist John Wayne Tyson. It's one heck of a name. However, claims that Gosworth, prior to dying in 1970, bestowed the kingship on him with the literary executorships, although the writer Lane Fletcher was the joint literary executor for Gosworth. Later developments. Okay, tell me about the later developments. Okay, let's go in the future. Or the now. Let's see what happens. John Wayne Tyson subsequently visited Redonda in 1979 on an expedition organized by philanthropist and Sheelan publisher A. Reynolds Morse. Wayne Tyson ruled as King Juan II, until abdicating in favor of the novelist Javier Marias of Madrid in 1997. That is fairly recent. I was 1 year old. Okay. Transferring the literary executorship of Gosworth to Shield along with the title. Okay, great. well, you got a link, so you're that guy, huh? You're an author, a translator, columnist. You got 15 novels. Here we go. Heart So White, Tomorrow in the Battle. Tomorrow in the Battle, Think on Me, and the Your Face Tomorrow trilogy. Okay, well, you're a good author. Arthur John Roberts' title was subsequently inherited by William Leonard Gates, whom Gosworth had given the title of Baron L'Angular de Blisswood de Redonda. Oh my god, the long ass title. We don't even give our nobles that long of a title. We really don't. We just recently made one of our citizens who has committed themselves for years and has helped us out for years, right? Become a duke. So, he is the Duke of the Eros province. Meaning, it doesn't mean he governs all of Eros province. It means he owns land in Eros province. So since he owns land in Eros province, that's why the word of is being used instead of in. Because he actually owns land in it. That's why he's the Duke of Eros province. And why another noble is titled Countess in Nyx, because she does not have land of her own. Therefore, she is a countess in Nyx instead of Nyx, or of Ares province, where she would live if she had land within the province. So, but that's too long of a title. That's basically saying Baron L'Angular of Blisswood of Redonda. Why? From his home at Thurleton, Norfolk, Gates, who was known as King Leo, presided over a group known as the Redondan Foundation. I tried looking up that link, by the way. It's expired. I tried looking up that link already. It's expired. It doesn't seem to be working. Not to be confused with the Redondan Cultural Foundation, set up by Paul de Fortis. Gates died on January 2nd, 2019. That's very recent, and his crown passed to Queen Josephine. Oh, well, they keep the thing alive, I guess. As in Gosworth's reign, meetings of these rival groups have been held at the Fitzroy Tavern in Fitzrovia, central London. King Leo reigned as king for 30 years since 1989. Williamson, who lived on Antigua until his death in 2009, set himself up as a rival King Robert the Bald. How dare you copy one of my ancestors? Not that I care. I don't really care that much. I mean, he's called the Bald, so maybe he's bald. I don't know. In 1988, London clergyman Paul de Fortis established the Redondan Cultural Foundation. De Fortis promoted a new king, Cedric Boston, born on Montserrat in 1960. Boston claimed the Redondan throne in 1984, winning the allegiance of a number of Gosworth's peers. On the question of the Kingdom of Redonda, Wayne Tyson has written, "The legend is and should remain a pleasing and eccentric fairy tale." Thank God he admits it. A piece of literary mythology to be taken with salt. Romantic sighs, appropriate perplexity, some amusement, but without great seriousness. It is, after all, a fantasy. Thank God this guy became smart. This guy became smart. Oh my god. Okay, this guy became smart. Okay. He gets it. It is a fantasy, and I'm probably going to call that out in the end. Various people have been given a peerage status in Redonda. Generally, these were writer friends of Shields and Gosworth in the United Kingdom. They include Arthur Mackin. That's a lot of names. I'll let you all read that over. 1, 2, 3. Okay, continue reading. Wayne Tyson, Javier Marius, Bob Williamson, William Gates, and Cedric Boston were all interviewed in the BBC Radio 4 documentary Redonda, the island with too many kings. I think there's not enough. Make more. No. Broadcasted in May 2007. Really? On September 11, 2022, Javier Marius died in Madrid. It was reported that Xavier I had named Juan Gabriel Vasquez as his successor. However, Vasquez later clarified that an official naming ceremony had never taken place. Just end it. In August 2022, Spanish writer Javier Dieguez visited the island of Redonda and left some books by Javier Marius, MP Shield, and John Wayne Tyson as a tribute to Javier Marias and the previous monarchs of Redonda. Dagisby Redonda narrates his journey to the island and serves as a posthumous tribute to Javier Marias. Okay. Then here's the list of kings. Okay, thank God it's not that many. Okay. Sounds like a lot, but it sounds like there was a lot more. Okay, Matthew Dottie Shield. Yeah, it was the first guy. Philip Shield, his son. John Gosworth. Okay, okay. King Philippe, yeah. King Juan the First. Author John Roberts is King Juan the Second. John White Tyson became King Juan the Second as well. William Leonard Gates styled King Leo, and Javier Marias King Xavier. Oh. In popular culture, in 2007, the Wellington Arms Pub in Southampton, England, attempted to declare itself an embassy of Redonda. Oh God, I hate doing these embassy things. In all honesty, I mean, don't get me wrong. In the province of Eros, which is located within Canada, we actually have a citizen that volunteered one of his rooms in his house, as an embassy to Canada, and I straight up told him that. Well, I don't know. I mean, you have 2,000 acres of land, so regardless of how anything ends up here on the American side, if we do end up going up there to build our nation up there on that 2,000 acres of land instead, if he allows it, I mean, I don't know. I guess it would make sense to have an embassy up there. So I just basically allowed him, and it gave him approval, and the Queen gave royal assent, of course, to have him make the embassy to Canada inside his house. So it was fine. So, but but in this particular case, though, and see, look, here's the reason for it, right? It's not for the reason you think. And obviously I'm still on the screen, so you can just clearly read it while I'm ranting. In order to gain diplomatic immunity and from a nationwide ban on smoking in enclosed workplaces, including pubs. Apparently, there's a ban on smoking in pubs. This ultimately failed when Foreign and Commonwealth Office pointed out that His Majesty's government recognizes Redonda as a dependent territory of Antigua and Barbuda, which accordingly is not entitled to establish a separate embassy or high commission in the United Kingdom. Well, at least they gave them a actual answer, like a formal answer. And ladies and gentlemen, that is it. I mean, there's the external links right here, but I clicked on it and this popped up. Yeah. So, don't know. But yeah, that is the Kingdom of Redonda, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm back. Okay, that's the Kingdom of Redonda. Let's see, it's been 39 minutes. Oh, good, my mic is still on. Just making sure. That would really suck if it wasn't. Okay, here we go. I think we have time to do one more. What do y'all think? Time to do one more? Let's do one more. Alright, ladies and gents, we are going to do another interesting one. If you guys are wondering where I'm getting this from, I'm sure y'all can... I don't know if I showed y'all the list. It's from Wikipedia. It's just from straight Wikipedia. Okay, and then when we get to the micro wiki, do not worry. I am not going to look up every single god-awful micronation. What I am going to do... and I'm going to announce this now, so you'll be prepared for future videos, that when I look up the Micronations and Micro Wiki, I'm only going to look up the Micronations that are within nations that the Queendom of Nyx has land in or has a citizen in. But usually has land in. For example, as far as I'm aware, the province of Poseidon is still located in the Philippines. I haven't gotten confirmation from our Filipino Nyxian citizen yet. So, once I get full confirmation from my citizen, then we'll go from there. But as far as I'm aware, I think we still have land in the Philippines, and that's our province of Poseidon. It's not that big. Not that it matters. I mean, it's still land. So, but it's in the Philippines. That's our first overseas territory, right? Or overseas province, really. That's why we gave it the province of Poseidon. Or the name Poseidon. But it's planned to be geographically relocated to Europe and Spain, because the only citizen there has a family thing going, and it's making him prepare to move to Spain because apparently he has family in Spain and he thinks he can claim land there and whatnot. So, and he also has a knighthood. I have allowed him to establish a knighthood, a Catholic knighthood. I think that's what it is. It's like a Catholic knighthood type deal. A knight order. There we go. A Catholic knight order. Inside the Queendom of Nyx, because we allow this stuff. It's okay. Freedom of religion. Do what you do, right? And yeah, no, and yeah, he's been good. He's been good. Our Duke has been talking to him a little bit more, because the Duke's wife is Filipino, so he knows the language, so that makes it better. Yeah, and the Filipino Nyxian citizen knows English too, of course. But it's good to know that we have great communication. So there's a funny story about how we got him to be a citizen. There was a funny story about that, but I'll get to that later. So, okay, let's see. Yeah, so Province of Poseidon, overseas territory. Then we got Province of Eros, which is in Canada. Then Ares and Hades are in the United States. So, for anyone that wants to know that. Okie dokie. So, where was I going to do? Oh, yeah, I was going to go to this. Okay, is the thing ready? Oh, right. I remember what I was going to say. My brain farted. Okay, so basically, the only nations we're going to look, Micronations we're going to look up for the sake of reacting is, so the Philippines, of course, right? If there's none in the Philippines, so be it. North America, and yeah, actually, that's it. North America and the Philippines. Yeah, that's actually it. Because those are the only places we have land in. So North America and the Philippines. Those are the only two locations that we're gonna look up and react to micronations that are actually neighboring us, right? And then I'll make a reaction on those. So since Redonda's done, what do I think? Redonda, you're fake. Simple as that. Done. Okay, it's a fantasy, and I'm glad someone in the history of that so-called nation admits that it's a fantasy. And yeah, too many kings on an uninhabited island. They enjoyed the fantasy at least. They made it. They made it a community thing. So I mean, good on them. But Kingdom of Redonda is a very fake nation. The free borough of Lanarust is more real than Redonda. So there you go. That's my take on Redonda. Quick, simple, easy judgment. Let's continue on to the last nation of the day, shall we? Okay, so we get the thing up, right? We do not. We do now. Okay. And then this thing. Then that thing. Then this thing. And then what? Bam. All right. Let's see. Who we got? I actually never looked this up before, so I'm new to this. Republic of Morak Songradi Medes. Okay. The Republic of Morak Songradi Medes and the later Kingdom of Humanity. Oh, okay. Humanity. Okay. Were states retrospectively classified as micronations. Okay, guys, this part right here, and then like other terminologies that were used for this. I think MicroWiki is doing the same thing also. Just because it looks like a nation to you does not mean it's a nation. Have you ever heard of a historic nation called Neutral Morinay? Neutral Morinay is more real than all of these than all these micronations I've seen so far. So crazy. So, but no, just because you observe them and see them as a nation does not mean they're nations immediately. So I hear the Queen. Your Majesty, are you trying to make an appearance? Oh, I knew. I'm actually recording a video right now if you want to say hi. Okay, because I'm recording right now, so.
Oh, that's fine. You can put this in your files of the Queendom of Nyx.
Right. I mean, hey, you make a quick hi right now, and call out how fake this nation is real quick. We be good.
Okay, well, unlock the fucking door then.
Hey, language.
I'm a human. I'm gonna cuss. I'm not a robot. I am not a robot like you.
Hey, I am not a robot. Beep boop bop boop.
I was gonna say, you're so professional.
Ladies and gentlemen, Her Majesty Queen Breckenridge the
That
First.
looks like crap right now because we just got done with League. Alright. So what nation are we calling out?
All right, so what we're doing, Your Majesty, is we're gonna go here. We're gonna turn that back on, Infinite World, and then we're right here. So, the Kingdom of Humanity is Republic of that, and then it turned into the Kingdom of Humanity.
Republic of Morocco Sagradi Medes. Okay.
Yeah, and were states retrospectively classified as micronations, and I was just explaining how most of these wiki articles are saying like this was observed as a micronation. I'm like, just because you look at it doesn't make it a okay. That claimed the Spratly Islands,
Okay.
which are the disputed archipelago in the South China Sea.
Oh.
Claims about this entity date its creation in 1877. But the first verifiable evidence comes only from 1946.
Oh, it must be one of those metal islands of China. Sorry.
Probably. The then uninhabited archipelago's nationality was already disputed by various states. Of course it is.
Oh, not surprising.
Yeah. Claims were largely ignored throughout its existence. The Republican Kingdom's activities were practically limited to production of materials such as postage stamps, and no settlement was never established on the islands. So you have no land, gentlemen.
No qualifiable land.
Yeah, no qualifiable land. And most of these islands, I think, are built by China.
Yeah, because remember, China was making those artificial islands, basically their own archipelago, so they could take over them.
Yeah, and there's a map right here that shows what red equals China. So there's like little dots here. Nice flags, but
I mean,
barely use any.
I like the design of the flags, but I mean, if you actually like read into it, like it talks about then caught the attention of the Philippine military authorities. I feel like that would have been news.
Yeah.
I feel
Well,
like,
hold on. It says More Means was a U.S. Army soldier discharged in Manila in 1946 for illegally engaging in various personal business ventures, mainly in the resale of army surplus. So, in that time era, you were a traitor. Me's tall tales of his so-called birthright Kingdom of Humanity were captured in a local Philippine newspaper, which caught the attention of the military authorities. Well, yeah, at that time, let's see. Did it tell me? Did it say what year? It didn't say. It didn't really say the year, but it said.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not giving me a year of when it caught the attention of the military authorities. Like,
Well, that would probably be when it was under military rule.
yeah, but I mean, you would have thought there would have been some kind of article about it that could be linked to verify that.
There's further reading and references. I haven't gotten there yet.
Well, zoom down there because I want to see. Like, I love the bio, but I'm not much of a bio person. I need proof that it's gonna be a real-ish nation. Okay, I am very much that person.
Yeah, I don't see
Islands of the South China Sea. I mean, by Intelligence and Research, Department of State.
Yeah, I don't see a lot of references on the.
But it's not then specific. It's literally just the area surrounding it on most of that. At least that's what it looks like to me. And Kingdom of Humanity. Okay, so why do you have this name?
Yeah, no.
That's what I'm more interested about. Screw all the bio stuff because it seems redundant now. If you actually read into it, it's redundant.
Oh, I'm silly. Morton of Medes is for some reason I read it as a nation, but it's a guy.
Yeah, and if you read the guy bio, so go up. Morton Meades was a U.S. Army soldier.
For some reason I read that as the name of the nation
So
because of this. That's why.
Yeah, he was discharged dishonorably in Manila.
Yeah, because he was making business ventures.
And he shouldn't have done that.
Wouldn't that be considered mercenary work?
It's resale of army surplus. So he's basically selling.
Oh, arms dealer.
Yeah.
He became an arms dealer.
Yeah, when he shouldn't have done it. So when you read into that like that and just read it, He's a traitor, so it makes you think this is probably even real at all.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, dishonorably discharged. There's that lack of honor concept. So,
Yeah. Businessman Thomas Coloma. Oh wait, hold on, we're down here now, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mormon is supposed to be British forebearer who laid claim to Spratly Island in 77. Captain Meades was exploring South China Sea, laid claim to the islands, and took the name King James I. Okay. Even in the 1990s, the Meades descendants continued to possess legitimacy over the islands and ownership of the islands' resources.
Okay, Kingdom of Humanity. This is what I'm interested in.
Formed in 1914 under the leadership of Franklin and Meades, same family.
The son of James George.
The two rival factions continued to claim on the islands during World War II. Good luck when they were under the control of Japanese forces. Franklin died in 45, and his son Josiah took over leadership. Josiah himself died soon after. His son Morton, that makes sense, was to succeed, but was deemed too young. Well, at least they went by that. You should have seen The Last Nation.
Oh, God.
The Kingdom of Redonda. Tell me this isn't a backdoor trauma story.
Oh, a backdoor trauma story?
Okay. A bishop coordinates a 15-year-old kid as King of Redonda.
That sounds like a backwards trauma story ready to happen.
Yeah. And ever since then, he's been getting people into the fantasy with him.
There it is.
And that's why it's called the Island of Too Many Kings.
Yep. Let's see. For recognition of the kingdom later that year, the remainder of the kingdom's governing body drowned in a shipwreck off the coast of the Philippines during Typhoon Aura, except for Meades in 1985 when Meades sued the United States and others for $25 billion, claiming unfair competition of harassment and sabotage. The case was not heard.
Oh, that's interesting. Hold on, I didn't read that yet. So, petition to UN, Republic of China at the time. Not People Republic of China, Republic of China. That's hold on. For recognition of the kingdom in 1972. Did Taiwan exist yet?
Yeah.
It did exist? Okay. So Taiwan existed. Okay, so Republic of China, he meant Taiwan. So he's trying to get Taiwan's recognition. And then the Philippines.
Well, I was going to say, because remember, China's trying to suppress anyone that recognizes Taiwan.
Right.
Because...
Yeah, later that year, the remainder of the kingdom's governing body drowned in shipwreck. Oh, shit. Okay. Typhoon Aura. Known in the Philippines as Typhoon Kongsing, was a June 1972 Category 1 typhoon that left 131 people dead and $15 million in damage.
Manila experienced widespread flooding as the typhoon tracked close to the city.
Oof. Big flood.
Yeah.
And just 2 years later, America gets rocked by the 1974 tornado outbreak.
Yeah. Yeah. And then it says here in 1985, it Meades sued the U.S.
Yeah.
I would like to see a court document. To
yeah, I want to see a court document too. In the United States and others
Yeah.
for $25 billion, claiming unfair competition harassment.
I wonder what all that is. But anyways, I'm going upstairs now because this nation has hurt my head.
Yeah, see?
That
So-
nation has hurt my head.
Okay, so what should you declare the Republic of Morag? Hold on, let me get back in here real quick. Okay, so what would you declare that Republic and the Kingdom of Humanity as in terms of what the Queendom of Nyx is and what Stamari is and what other supposed nations?
If we're going based off of ourselves and Stamaria, our
Like,
awesome ally,
yeah, so
and
like
all that,
fake, hobbyist, fantasy, simulation.
I want to say maybe a simulation more so. Only because some of that could be verified if they're actually suing the U.S. on some things,
That is
Whatever.
true. I mean, if you go as far as taking a country to court for the sake of your nation,
Mhm.
that is something to base off of. But without land and without
verifiable land. Let's
and,
just
yeah,
start
verifiable land.
there. I would
yeah.
say without verifiable land,
Mhm.
as in, saying, hey, we can actually look it up, and then it says all this stuff. So that's what we're looking for when it comes to that. But I mean, granted, we're kind of sporadic ourselves, but we're kind of just going off of people's households' land. We're not
Yes.
going off of land in a sea or something like that.
Yeah.
That's possibly owned by China's fake archipelago that they've been building over there.
Right.
So if we're going based off of possibly Stomaria's model, I would say fake.
Say fake.
But I would possibly say a simulation too as well, only because of the U.S. sewage.
Right, true, because that's like out of all the things, that's probably the most realistic thing they've done was sue the United States.
But I mean, they said the case
But it was
wasn't
legitimate
heard.
about it, yeah.
So now we're kind of stuck in. I kind of want to see more if it's real. Like I would like to see verifiable things, not just what's sprawled on Wiki.
Yeah,
okay?
but it's not what it looks like though. It's because there's no homepage for it or anything like that.
I mean, but not every nation is going to be updated like that. Though,
no, of course not.
Depending if it's still ongoing or if it died.
Yeah,
so,
I want to assume it's dead.
That's my thing. I'm pretty sure it's dead.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's dead.
But if you're going off of base of any history within just the wiki alone, I would assume.
Oh yeah, no, I go immediately for the source argument, like because there's external links, and I go to those external links.
I mean, it had several references, but those references were very vague.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't specify that micronation.
Right, but there's external links, and it takes you to a whole other website that's not wiki. So.
Exactly, and I mean, wiki has also been known to be kind of iffy too, though. To be completely fair.
Right.
Let's not rule that out too, because wiki is one of those. Okay, so like I said, not everything wiki UI is like gonna be verifiable either, because again, wiki is a bunch of people that actually go find the history and they input their thoughts in there. It's literally an active like historical archive of whatever people find in some books that might be related to or similar to, and they'll input it in those things. So this is kind of where my favoritism of not wiki is allowed, even in somewhat of a micronation sense. But I say for this one, it's probably either a dead nation now or it simply does not exist anymore. If it even did exist to begin with.
Yeah, right.
So that's what you're looking for. When you're looking for real things, they're going to have active archives. They're going to have some kind of activity, whether it's a website, a group. Sometimes social media helps with this. And this is also kind of, like I said, where the breakdown of wiki happens, because they can't use sources from social media or anything like that. So I would just say it's dead. Because there hasn't been no further updates since the suing of United States per that wiki specifically. So just my take on that.
Okay. Well, thank you, Your Majesty, for making your first appearance in 1,000 years. So, and I'm sure the people would love to see you for the very first time. And yes, you will be on the playlist where the Queen appears. So, yes, guys, the Queen is real. You now see her full body face, not AI made anything. She is real. So, yes, this is my sovereign. So
just keep in mind, I look like crap because I just did a
Oh, you're fine. You're probably going to get comments saying, you look fine, shut up. So, you're going to get comments like that anyway. And they're probably going to say hi to you too, so.
Yeah, but anyways, hello everyone. I'm just going to say that. Go ahead and get my piece out there. Just know that we are active. We do have our own website, thequeendomofnyx.com. And we also do have our own Facebook group, the Queendom of Nyx as well. And we also run co-admins of the Facebook page that we also have as well. If you all are interested in learning more about us, I recommend the website though, because it's a lot more in detail than probably what we can give you now. But we are open to talking with other people. We're not these kind of people that like just start crap with other people unless they start with us first, okay? I'm going to be real with you guys for a minute, because realness is what lacks in most micronations anymore that we've came across. So when we're talking in realms of micronations, it's good to be professional, but it's also good to be real too, because if you're not real, you're not going to have a good outcome. That's just how I see it, and that's just how I've always been. I'd rather be real versus fake. Even if that means I'm going to be a little cussy about it and unprofessional, because I'm a human. He's a human. I'm pretty sure if you're watching this, you might be AI or human. I don't know. But if you are human, you're going to be upset. You're going to be frustrated. I mean, heck, there are people out there that have like these professional writing tools. We don't even do that. I don't, at least for myself. But he does. He goes to chat a lot.
Yeah, but I actually need it.
To help us be more professional, because we can be very unprofessional at times. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it, but when it comes in terms of discussing with our foreign affairs people, our own within the government thing, we try and be as professional as humanly possible. I do work outside of doing sovereignty within the Queendom. So I am currently going for my ASN, my Associates for Nursing. So I'm a little bit preoccupied with my own schoolwork, and he has been taking over a lot to help with us furthering ourselves for sure as we continue to grow in our micronationhood. I am actually so far quite pleased with his work so far, especially with the newest allyships that we have acquired of Stomeria and Hescaria. So I really have no complaints with how my Prime Minister rules. However, though, I am also open and available to talk when I can. Okay? But otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching. I have to skedaddle now because I'm a wife too with 3 kids. So I gotta go make sure everyone's good, getting ready for bed, and I also gotta get myself a shower too because, as I stated earlier, I did an intense league and it was close games back to back to back. So thank you all so much for your time. And yes, the Queen appears. Thank you, Prime Minister, for this time. And I want to go ahead and disappear off and check on the princes and the king.
Very well, Your Majesty. Thank you for honoring us with your presence today.
You're welcome. Now,
have a good night, Your Majesty.
You as well, and yeah, that nation was a fake.
Yeah, I agree.
Have a good one.
Yep, you too. Thank you. And there you have it, folks. The Queen was an unexpected special guest today. So there you go. Hopefully this second episode, and you heard it from her herself. The nation is fake. The Republic of, I can't even pronounce it anymore, and the Kingdom of Humanity are probably dead and fake nations. So without further ado, that'll be it for the second episode of reacting to Micronations on Wikipedia and MicroWiki that we selected to do a reaction on. So there's not a lot of them on Wikipedia itself, but there's a lot in MicroWiki. But like I told you before, we're only going to react to the ones in North America and the Philippines. That's it, nothing else, and only if they are active. Because I noticed in MicroWiki they have a category on the right side: red, yellow, and green. Right? Green means active. Okay, and yellow means inactive. Red means dead or defunct. Right? So we're only gonna go for the active ones. So when we look up the North American nations, I will find the active ones, write them down, list them down, right? And we're just gonna react to those. And MicroWiki has declared that a lot of them are not that active. But is that surprising? No, not really. So I hope you all enjoyed the video. I hope you all enjoyed the second episode, and I hope you enjoyed our wonderful special guest, Her Majesty Queen Breckenridge the First of the Night and Darkness. So, yes, that is the title. So, without further ado, I will see you all later, and we will continue on with the next nation. And I'll go ahead and announce the next nation now for your future episode. And without looking it up to know how short or long it is, since I now know how to make my OBS work this time, right? The next nation is the Republic of Parva Damus Magna Keys. Okay. 1878 it says. So, we'll see about that. Alright. Well, like I said, link in the description below about all the nations I just looked up. Our website, and who you saw was Queen Breckenridge the First, our sovereign. And hope you like her, and I hope you now realize that she is a real person. She is real. So yes, y'all got to see our sovereign. I know, it's a shocker. So now she has explained to y'all publicly about why she's usually behind the scenes and not outspoken like I am. So, without further ado, Ave Rex, Vivat Regum, y'all have a wonderful night, and the Queendom of Nyx thanks you for your audience. Have a good day.
In the darkest of nights, in the coldest of days, is our comfort. In the dark of night, the winds of change are night. Our freedom is a lesson, just we fight for freedom and justice.
Rise, Queendom of Nyx. We rise, we march, we fight, we live. Rise, Queendom of Nyx. United we stand, divided we fall.
In the darkest of nights, in the coldest of days, is our comfort. In the dark of night, the winds of change are night.